of different music. We have all the shit that you're doing. We already have it. Lil Uzi Vert is already doing it. Lil Baby is already doing it. Dub Baby is already doing it. It's literally two niggas with baby in their names that's already doing all the music you want. Do something else. Do something else. That's it. That's all we want. Do something else. Holy shit. We have it. We have it already. You don't have to do that music anymore. We have the music already. We have Lil Baby. We have Dub Baby. We have Lil Uzi Vert. We have Lil Yachty. We have Lil everybody. Do something else. Holy shit.
Welcome to Flyby Films, once or twice a month, using the magics of distance-defying tubes, or some stupid asinine shit like that. We get together to discuss films that either have been or will be forgotten. I'm Blake Collier. And with me tonight, in Chico, California, the one, the only, the myth, the legend, the bearded one, Jameson Barsotti. Jameson, we're going to be talking about another prison film tonight, after your pick last time. This time it's going to be sci-fi, but still prison-related.
Kind of.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's a prison of their necks.
I meant kind of sci-fi.
Kind of sci-fi, yeah. You don't see that shit in reality, so it's technically sci-fi. We're watching a movie called Deadlock, or Wedlock, depending on which film title you're going for. I think Wedlock works better.
Wedlock works better, and I think the culture has decided that, including our AI overlords, because
yes.
I cannot find it under Deadlock anywhere, except in reference like, oh, it was once called Deadlock. So
it does make more sense being called Wedlock, to be honest. But really, the more important thing is this is our second. That's right, folks. Second Rutger Hauer film.
Yes.
That's right. It's the Hauer of Power. Part 2. Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah, so this is Rutger Hauer, Mimi Rogers, and Steven Tobolowsky, however you say his name.
Yeah.
Tobolowsky. Which is...
He is the quintessential guy who was in that thing.
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I mean, it's later on. Jameson, you still got a hurt leg.
I do.
We're 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks out, and you were already a week in the last time.
So I keep going on a run over the weekend to see if it's better, and it kind of ticks up a little bit, and then I go, well, shit, probably should wait a little longer.
How does one heal from a stress fracture? I guess technically this country is dealing with a stress fracture already.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, fracture.
Well, I assume a stress fracture, and I'm not a doctor, so do not take my advice. But I assume that a stress fracture is a minor tear in your bones or break in your bones that will eventually heal, as bones do when they're set, and you will allow your body rest to do that. But the question becomes, how much rest do you do so you don't make it
get
worse?
fat?
Well, that's the other question. That's what you asked me, Blake. I told you the other night over a text that I was still dealing with this injury, and you said, "Are you fat like me yet?"
I mean, it's a valid question.
The answer is no.
I guess that's true. You're still being a vegan, so like a lot of the sweets that like are ultra processed are like off limits to you. So
Blake, have I not told you that I'm not a vegan anymore?
son of a, when did this happen?
It happened in August. I swear we talked about it. I've been eating hell of butter and cheese and yeah.
Are you vegetarian?
Yes, yeah. I still don't have an interest in eating meat, but you know what it was? I just love baking. I love baking so much. And working with coconut oil and not eggs sucks. So
That's fair.
I'm a terrible person. I know you're judging me. I know our listeners are judging me. We probably lost all of our vegan faction. So
No, actually, I'm not judging you any longer.
You were judging me.
Oh, I was judging you real hard.
Yeah.
You know, your love of baking is just like a hair's breadth away from loving bacon. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time. When I finally give up, I will start eating bacon again.
My water tried to kill me. That's why I'm having to like turn my mic off every so often to like cough my liver up. So
I was wondering. I actually was about to ask if I should call the Tulsa police or
no, I didn't.
emergency lines.
I'm not choking on something. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's actually something I've wondered about. You know,
How would,
okay.
yeah.
So I was thinking about, you know, you're a little younger than me, not by a whole lot, but I grew up in the early days of the internet, where talking on IRL and Yahoo chat and all sorts of shit like that, meeting random people with like dubious like claims to like age, sex, and location, if you know what I mean. You just think about like I talked to people from online on the phone a handful of times, to be fair. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what if one of those people was all of a sudden start choking or something? Like, how does one handle that? Do you just call like
You can't just
911
call
goes to your
911.
local, because that just goes to your
Yeah.
local. Yeah.
911 definitely assumes that you are in a physical vicinity of a person, right?
Yeah. So that
I
doesn't mean you
don't
just
know
have to like
what.
look up. But even then, like think back, like this would have been like when this was happening, like late '90s, early 2000s, when the internet was still fledgling and fun and free and fancy footed and not like capturing our attentions right and left. But
You
you couldn't
mean
find
back
half the shit that you could
back
find
in
now.
the good old
And so,
days, right?
like, how does one find a a phone number for Modesto, California police department, like in that event? I don't know.
Blake,
Fuck if I
that
know.
was surprisingly specific. Did you have something happen to you
No,
related to
no,
someone
not
in
not from
Modesto?
Modesto. For some reason, Modesto came to my mind. For some reason, I don't know why. Um, I did talk to a girl from online during my early college days, and she did at one point, thankfully not on the phone with me, but at one point did consider suicide. So that was exciting. Thankfully,
Was
she
that
didn't
while
go through with it, at least when I knew her.
was
But
that while texting, or like was
no,
it something posted?
you remember Yahoo Messenger? Were you ever on
Yeah,
Yahoo Messenger? So yeah,
absolutely.
like that's how I would talk to her most of the time. And I remember like waking up to like getting messages that were like hyper specific about some of that stuff, and I was like, oh shit. And then like I like messaged her back. I was like, wait, are you okay? Like she answered back, so I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Sweet. Needless to say, that didn't last very long. But
Yeah.
um but how does one like
Well, I think both
we
you
take
and
we
her
take so much
dodged.
shit for granted, man. This day of information.
Yeah. It sounds like both you and her dodged a bullet, so,
Oh yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, dodged a massive bullet. That was a weird, tangent, but whatever.
Yeah, that was
I don't even know how we got on it.
surprisingly.
How did we get on it?
You were choking, and I was
Oh,
gonna
that's
let
it.
you die because I can't get through to the Tulsa Police Department.
Oh, you could. But you could look up
Yeah.
on your phone what is the Tulsa Police Department and call that number.
What I'm wondering, yes,
You'd
I
have to
could do that, and then I would do that.
you'd have to rifle through your papers to find my address.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I would I would just tell them your IP address. I'd be like, "Can you find it based on this?" Actually, they might be able to. I do wonder if I called 911 and there was an emergency, happening on your end, if I could say he's at this place in Tulsa, California, Tulsa, Oklahoma. If
Hmm.
they could wire me to
They
like
would
the
have to be
correct
able to.
place, I assume that
I
they
mean,
have that
because
capability.
well, to think about it, like it doesn't matter where you're at in the United States. If you call 911, it automatically goes to the local dispatcher.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah,
got to be some way to like wire, a call in from a person like halfway across the United States to a place, it's got to be a possibility.
yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call the flyby film signal. I'm gonna say, Thad, if you're listening, Demetrius, if you're listening, uh,
Help us
D-
out here.
Jared, if you're listening, these are the names of all of our listeners that I know of. Other people, if you're listening,
Reed,
um,
are you listening?
Reed, are you listening? Um, if you know the answer to this, send Blake or I a text, or just send an email at Flyby Films podcast pod. What is our address at gmail.com?
Flybyfilmspod@gmail.com.
Yeah. Blake, don't ruin it. Don't look it up on the internet. We have to wait.
No, I'm asking stupid ass AI, which is going to give me the wrong
No,
answer.
don't. Ah. Ah. Blake, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you freezed for a second.
Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie. If this is true, and that's a big fucking if, because we're talking like 30% here, 30%
Okay.
accuracy. You absolutely can be transferred, but it isn't always instant, as a standard transfer might feel, because the U.S. 911 system is decentralized,
Ooh.
made up of over 6,000 independent call centers called PSAPs. The process depends heavily on where you are calling from and where you need help. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but they must have a protocol for this situation, just because people FaceTime a lot more.
Oh, yeah. in this day and age of like, you know, two white guys podcasting like literally every day.
Yeah, this
There's
situation
got to
that
be
we're
a
talking
situation where there's like you see in the background a person with a knife coming at my throat. Like,
yeah,
what do you do? Just saying, it's happened. I can guarantee it.
I think this happens. I think this is how like what 2% of all podcasts end is an emergency like that. That was the
2%?
stat. That was the stat I heard.
Yeah,
So,
well, apparently, if you go over 15 episodes, if you make it 15 episodes, you're like in the top 7% of podcasts.
what about 100 episodes?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
What?
100 episodes? I would guess that you're talking around in the 5 to 4%.
Wow. Do you think at that stage we could be nominated for a Golden Globe?
Not a Golden Globe, no, because they don't do podcasts.
Yeah, they do. They just started doing
What?
podcasts.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, what it is, the reason, and I didn't realize this until
They've started putting that shit on streaming services too. It makes me so angry.
why. That is exactly why. Because a podcast is like a TV show now. It's literally just a talk show. Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I mean,
Bullshit.
yeah. Yeah.
It's bullshit.
For those who are listening at home and can't see it because we are not a video recorded talk show, Blake just sign languaged bullshit. So
it's the thing I did.
yeah.
So Jameson,
Blake,
are you ever going to return to eating meat or
No.
running again?
I'm gonna return to running. I
Are
actually
you sure about that?
really miss running. I really miss running.
But you don't
unless-
miss bacon.
I don't. I don't miss bacon.
That's so weird because bacon, man, it's bacon.
Okay, you know what I miss? The meats that I miss the most
Hamburger?
are no, actually I don't miss hamburger because hamburgers aren't about the meat. What makes a hamburger good is the extra shit, and you can make a vegan patty and then just put all of the extra shit you want that is good enough that tricks your brain into thinking you're eating it good.
That makes absolute sense because the best burger I ever had was a mushroom burger, like an actual mushroom patty.
Yeah. So burgers were, I think, the first thing that the vegans cracked, where they were like, oh yeah, this is simple, but they really haven't been able to do anything else properly. But
except for baking, I feel like they've started to up their game on the baking. Like we've got a coffee house that you went to when you were here.
Oh,
that only does gluten and vegan baking items.
Oh,
so like cookies and stuff like that. They have a few items that aren't, but for the most part, it's vegan and gluten free.
Okay.
And they're pretty good.
Yeah, there are some ways to bake good things. I don't know.
You don't see the point of it.
I never took to it, and I gave up. But the one meat that I do miss is hot dogs.
Really?
So not just any hot dog, but like a street hot dog where you like smell it. And it might be wrapped in bacon. It might be like just like late night hot dog. It's divine. Like getting out of a concert in a city and then smelling the just shitty meat grilling on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Going into your nostrils. No, it is so good, and like mixed with, onions and peppers or something like that.
Wait, so you don't even miss like border tacos, like down in Juarez, traveling the streets and
No,
and getting
don't get me wrong.
tacos.
That stuff is good. Like, the more the riskier it is, the better. Like, it's good. I don't get me wrong, but what gets me is
It's hot
that
dogs.
moment. Yeah, that moment you're walking down the street late at night and that hot dog hits your nose. I get weak in the knees for that.
You know,
Outside of that,
that is not
outside,
the only way to get a hot dog late at night. I'm just saying.
yeah, I know. I know there's other ways to get a hot dog late at night. I know all the ways. But yeah, I mean, any other meat, I'll even admit, like, oh, that smells good, or oh, that looks good when I see, you know, fish being prepared in a cooking show, or steak being prepared in a cooking show. You know, there are these things that like make it look good, but like nothing makes me want to break vegetarian than a hot dog.
That's
So
fair.
yeah,
So you broke it. You broke veganism in August, and you didn't tell me.
I broke veganism in August, and I haven't looked back.
I like that you just passed over the not telling me part, as if you did tell me, but you're
Did
like,
tell you just forgot.
Are you saying I have Alzheimer's?
Well, look, I'm not saying you have Alzheimer's. I'm saying that you took
Have
away our
two small
listeners.
children.
Yes.
Yeah.
You took away our listeners' opportunity to call in about the 911 thing because you spoiled that. So now
I didn't spoil it. They can correct. They can correct old Jim. It's not that hard.
Old Jim.
Yeah, old Jim. Old Gemini.
Gemini.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of late night hot dogs, Wedlock.
So
Did you like that? Did you like that turn?
Das Experiment. Yeah, I like that turn.
Yeah, I was like, I told Jameson this, and I think I might have mentioned on the last episode, but I had decided that anything that Jameson picked since he was first up this year, I was going to do a similar theme, but just like slightly different in its, I guess, trappings. So I was like, I don't know how I came across this one. I think I looked up maybe sci-fi prison movies. I could have picked like Running Man, but it's pretty well known.
Yeah, I don't think that one.
I was like, I like that movie a lot, but no. I feel like I could have done the most recent one because it's a thing it's pretty much already forgotten.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I think it got pretty decent reviews on the whole for a cheesy, sci-fi flick.
I think we could always invite Thad back on to talk about that because he revealed to us that he watches every Edgar Wright movie.
Oh, was that an Edgar Wright movie?
That was an Edgar Wright movie. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I could be wrong. I'm just reciting what ChatGPT told me.
Thad Demetrius, Reed, Greg. If Jameson's wrong about that, I am not gonna waste my time with Gemini on that one. Yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, I came up with Wedlock. I don't even remember what year it is. 91, I think. And sure. I mean, yeah, basically, the plot of the movie is basically a jewel thiefed. I'm killing it tonight, Jameson. A jewel thief,
great job,
played by Rutger Hauer, is betrayed by his lover, Joan Chen of Twin Peaks fame,
Josie,
and the other guy, that guy. I can't. James Remar, who is his partner and a friend. they betray him and shoot him, and he goes to prison. But it's this special prison with high tech trappings, and basically they make the prisoners into dogs. They put collars around their necks, and they say, "You are tied to somebody in this prison. You don't know who, but you travel within certain colored circles around this facility, and you're always within 100 feet of each other. And if you separate from that, then your head goes kaboom. If you try to move outside of the prison, quote unquote, space, your head goes kaboom." And so all this stuff. Anyways, that's the trick of the movie. The movie doesn't really quite earn the way they find out who is connected to Rutger Hauer. It's like Mimi Rogers is just taking her life in her hands and just guessing that she's the one. And they just drive off, and you're like, oh shit. But it turns out he is tied to her, and so they have to stay within 100 feet, one or the other, of each other.
Football field, 100 yards. Yeah.
100 yards. So they have to, that's part of the tension of the film in several spots, is that one of them is on a vehicle and the other one is like not. And so like they're having to figure out how to keep up and or get off of the vehicle before they transgress the distance issue. Yeah, so they get away. They're being tracked down by the warden, who's played by Stephen Tobolowsky of Groundhog Day fame.
And Memento.
And Memento, yep. And yeah, Joan Chen plays his ex, and she doesn't have a whole lot to go on in this movie. She's like the femme fatale, but not a very well written one.
Joan Chen is not a great actress. Like, I love Josie, and I love Twin Peaks, but Joan Chen is known for being pretty wooden in her acting. So much so that she was not invited back to the third season of Twin Peaks.
Oh, wow.
I think there was some drama in that too, but yeah.
Dang, so that's brutal.
Yeah.
Man,
but,
that speaks highly of your acting ability, as if you make it through. I presume, I haven't finished Twin Peaks, but I presume 2 seasons of a show and then don't get invited back for a third.
Well, the third one, yeah, it was very, very strange, but yeah, that was, that's kind of like the weirdest thing about it, but yeah.
Well,
everyone, yeah.
Did you ever watch Dexter?
I did not.
So, James Remar played Dexter's dad in the TV show Dexter. He also was in a movie I really like that we'll probably watch at some point on the show called The Girl Next Door, which stars a bunch of really good people, including Emil Hirsch. And then what's the guy who played the priest or the preacher in There Will Be Blood? I'm blanking on his name now.
The preacher, Paul Dano?
Paul Dano is in it. Elisha Cuthbert, Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, all of them when they were early in their careers. And James Remar is the porn king in that movie, and it's pretty funny. Yeah, so I knew James Remar. Like, he's got one of those faces. You're like, oh, that guy. Yeah, so like the setup of the
You know who?
movie, I dig. I love setups
You
like
know who
this.
else has one of those faces?
Danny Trejo,
Danny Trejo, who is also in this movie,
and
has one
dies
speaking line and gets
and then
shanked
dies.
immediately after that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
He is tough
it's
guy. Tough
pretty
guy. What
sad.
was it? What do they call him in
Tough
IMDb?
prisoner
Tough guy
number
number
one.
one, or tough prisoner number
Tough
one?
prisoner number one. Yeah.
I mean, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. And Trejo
Yeah.
wanted to rock and roll.
Yep.
Sometimes you just gotta, have one-liners and die. I mean, that's just part of the game.
It is the way of the Trejo.
Can you imagine doing your first podcast with two white guys? And then our weird scenario where a guy comes up behind one of them and like slits his throat. Can you imagine that being on the very first episode?
That would be pretty
Sometimes you just
crazy.
got a one-liner. You got a one-liner and then you die.
Yeah.
It's just part of it.
Blake, do we have a poly market on on which one of us will die on the podcast first? I don't know.
I don't know what a polymarket is. That is highfalutin language from mathematicians.
No. It's terribleness. Have you heard about so there's I think it's a company called Polymarket. I think that's the name of the company. There's also a company named Kalshi. They are like general market betting. So you can place bets on.
I have heard of this.
Yeah, you can place bets on shit like, oh, I wonder if Mexico City will run out of water by 2027. I actually think they are probably the next biggest evil thing that you can imagine, biggest blight on society.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I think I heard my first advertisement for Kalshi now that you say that the other day.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh, is this another sports betting thing? Because they were talking about like quarterbacks and like shit. I was like, well, that's stupid. Why do I give a shit? And now that you explained this, I'm like, oh, wow. They were just making it sound better than it actually is.
Yeah. Sports betting is bad in and of itself because it
of course
contains, addiction, and it's just so unregulated in
mad
a
corruption.
lot of senses. Mad corruption.
Yeah.
So, naturally, you just want to add like global elections to it, and will Donald Trump say something crazy about nuclear weapons tomorrow? Will he pull the nuclear button tomorrow? I don't think it's a button you pull.
How does I was about to say, how does one pull a button?
You pull the button.
It's like that would make a good Tim Robinson sketch where he's trying his hardest to pull a button. He's like, just won't work.
It goes both ways, Blake. It goes both ways.
So do hot dogs at midnight. So Wedlock.
Yeah, Wedlock.
I especially like the fact that I keep bringing up hot dogs before I say Wedlock. It just, I don't know, it seems fitting.
I think in a lot of Wedlocks you get a hot dog.
Yeah, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get two.
Sometimes you get two. Yeah. So, what do you think of this film, Jameson? Did you find it entertaining? Did you find it to be as emotionally exciting as I did?
Okay, so I watched
it. Felt like Speed, but not as cool.
Not as good. Not nearly as good. I think part of that was once they revealed who the Wedlock partner was, then they kept having to do like dumb set pieces to make it
Yeah.
exciting, right? So you already mentioned the one where she gets like trapped in a bus, and
Yeah.
he has to take a bus that follows her, and
And
then
then she gets off the bus, and then he
yeah,
has to get off his bus, and
he has to get off his bus. And what frustrated me about that one was he like leapfrogs her, and then she starts feeling the stress of it all and chases after what she thinks must be him. But like she just ditches him and gets on a bus. She actually like goes into a luggage compartment on the bus, and she doesn't seem stressed about it at all. She's not worried about leaving him, even though she
Nope.
knows that's going to blow herself up. So that part was just bonkers to me. Um, but anyway, they survive, obviously. Um,
obviously.
and then the other set piece that's like, will they survive? Is she gets stuck in a elevator, and he has to jump out a window to keep the distance equal. Which
I mean, to be
that
fair, was a
that
pretty
one,
sweet, like,
yeah, that one was better.
it could have been filmed better,
Yeah,
but I thought, okay, yeah, that's well done. That's well
I
done.
I agree. That was probably the funnest part of the movie.
Yeah.
Um, why they were in that situation made zero sense. I
Nope.
actually still don't really understand her backstory.
Yeah, no.
It
It's like a
yeah.
buddy cop movie, but without those like '90s movies where like a cop was like connected to a criminal and they had to like
Hmm.
make their way out of some situation or something. Like there was like a whole spade of them in the '90s, and
Yeah.
like this feels like they wanted to be that, or at least this was the proto version of it.
Hmm.
But they didn't quite have the formula down yet. Um, but
No.
I mean, yeah, this was speed killed that genre because it did it too well.
It did it really good. It
Yeah,
did it so good that they were like, we have to make a sequel to Speed, but
and make it terrible.
and it was terrible. It was
Except for Willem Dafoe being the bad guy and like sitting in a bathtub with leeches all over him. That was kind of cool.
I don't
Um,
even remember. Wow.
he had some kind of like blood disease or some shit, and he had to have leeches to like suck out the poison. I don't know. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but it didn't matter. It's Willem Dafoe.
That feels super Bond villain, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
Bond villains always have a very strange like deformity or like ailment that like gives them their extra edge. Like
Mads Mikkelsen when he played the first Daniel Craig villain,
yeah.
and he had the weeping eye.
Yeah, yeah. And I think was it Goldfinger who like had like three nipples? Um
Or something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. And like, Bond tries to dress up like him and like put like a little like mole next to his thing
Yeah.
and get away with that. And then I think one of the Pierce Brosnan villains I remember like couldn't feel any like pain. And
Oh
so he was
yeah.
like a sociopath because of that. Yeah.
I was trying to remember which one that was.
I think it was, is it The World Is Not Enough or Die Another Day? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. Um, yeah, whichever one is the one with all the ice and snow. That was when Pierce Brosnan hit rock bottom. That's all I know. Um,
Well,
I
to
can't
be
remember
fair,
who was in that.
Pierce Brosnan had one good Bond movie, and it was
Goldeneye. Yeah,
It was
yeah,
Goldeneye,
yeah,
and
by far.
and then there were like middling Bond movies. That was actually kind of the case with Daniel Craig. It's
Although
just
I kind of enjoyed some of the others.
so I actually really liked Quantum of Solace because it
Yeah.
was quick. Like it
Yep.
wasn't 5 hours long. It was
Yep.
like, oh, we're gonna make a quick Bond movie, which to be fair, like some of the older ones were 2 hour long Bond movies,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like after that one, they
I
tried
don't
to
know.
make
The
all the Bond
one
movies super
where
epic.
Judi Dench dies and they're holed up in the house with Javier Bardem as the bad guy. That one was pretty good.
I thought that one was too much. Like
Oh,
I
you
thought
thought it was
that
too
one.
much? Of course, I don't really remember a whole lot outside of the house part, but
I just felt like that was like a whole extra movie tacked on to another Bond movie. Which, okay, maybe I need to watch it again.
I don't like. I need to watch it again too because I don't remember anything
Yeah.
but that part.
Do you think
The
I have
torture
one more
scene in the
Bond?
first one is the best part.
Yeah, the first Daniel Craig one. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Blake.
Okay.
Did your dad ever like have weekends? Well, I think this was when
He did
TBS
have
would have.
weekends. Weirdly
Did he have
enough,
weekends?
he did.
TBS used to have Bond, marathons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that. Did
Oh
your
yeah.
dad ever like sit down with you and like watch tons of Bond
I
movies?
I want to say that we did on some like I don't think we watched. My dad despised Roger Moore, so there is no way in hell
Oh.
he would watch any Roger Moore ones. But if there's a Sean Connery one, and I still he had a soft spot for Timothy Dalton, and so I kind of do too to this day, even though I think they're shit. Um, I think we would watch the Sean Connery ones, and if the Timothy Dalton ones were on, we'd watch those. But he took me to my first Bond film, which was GoldenEye,
Yeah.
in the
Nice.
theaters, uh, and so that's what introduced me to it. And I think after that, we would do those TBS weekend things,
Mhm.
but we'd only catch certain ones. Um,
Yeah.
and that's where I fell in love with like Goldfinger and the Aston
Mhm.
Martin that Sean Connery drove. And that car is sweet. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, we used to do that. Did your dad and you do that?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a really like dad son thing. That's why I was wondering if there was some, Bond connection. And so I was kind of wondering if you were gonna continue on that tradition or even have you thought about that?
Um, no, I hadn't really thought about that. I'm too busy
Yeah.
trying to figure out a way to steep my sons in horror. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I it's gonna be it's gonna be a steep slope because my wife is not a horror fan. So yeah, it's gonna be a trial by fire. But um,
Well,
the great
here
thing about those early like Universal monster films is once they get to a certain age, those are pretty safe. Like they're not
yeah.
uber bad. So maybe I can
Yeah,
kind of start them with
you could
that.
do
And
Vincent Price.
Vincent Price, yeah, especially what the Doctor Goldfoot one. That would be perfect. Um, yeah. No, I've thought about showing them some of the older stuff.
Hmm.
Um, make them fall asleep to Nosferatu or
Yeah.
uh, yeah, stuff like that. There was actually a podcast that I started to listen to a while back, and I listened to it for a few weeks, and then I gave it up for some reason. But it was this guy and his son, and his son was like 4 when they started the podcast, and the whole thing was like there was a podcast about horror movies, and he had his
Hmm.
4-year-old son talk to him about each horror movie that they watched, and like the whole point was to like the podcast was like a trajectory of like him growing up and getting slightly more like elevated or mature
Versed in
in his
horror.
horror. Yeah, and showing the like degree in which his ability to like think about the movies and whatnot. It was pretty cool at the moment. And so that gave me the idea. I was like, oh yeah, you could start with some of those early things that are not quite as I definitely think that here in the next couple of weeks I'm going to show them Wedlock though. I think that's going to be a real good
Yeah.
entry point for sci-fi. So yeah, Joan Chen especially, I'm gonna be like, watch for this woman, real great actress. You know, she's really the star of the movie, honestly, boys. So keep an eye out for her. This is the way traditional acting should be done.
This is the best peak acting.
Peak.
So you were talking about that, and I don't know if this year our sons will be ready to do our horror fest, but maybe we should consider like early Hammer monster films and some, showing them to our
Okay.
sons and having them on the podcast.
Okay. Well, we can
I'm
consider
into this
this.
idea. Yeah.
We
I
can
do.
we
Okay.
can start laying the groundwork in the
Laying the
meantime.
groundwork. I think if it doesn't happen this year,
Definitely next year.
then I think next year, because
Unless
Hazel will
one
be
of our
4
throats
next year.
gets slit.
Yeah, and then it'll just be traumatic for them in a different way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then whoever the other, whoever the surviving podcaster is has to become the dad by proxy
Yeah,
to the other person's children.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and then that child has to carry on the podcast because the podcast cannot end.
I think that's
Whatever their age is, it doesn't matter. They have to carry on.
Ultimately, the podcast was created as a curse on our generations henceforth.
I mean, the sins of the father and all.
The cats of the father.
Yeah, the cats. Cast your pods, son. Yeah, so Wedlock.
So, Das Experiment.
I will say that that the best part of the movie, I think, is honestly when Rutger Hauer is sent to the floaters.
Yeah.
It's a isolation chamber, one of those watery coffins, and this is a newfangled technique to wear prisoners down to receive the will of the warden. And it's classic, prison movie tripe that they put in to show the battle of the wills between the warden and the main protagonist, who's the prisoner. And Rutger Hauer, I mean, he pulled it off. He had the slimy shit-eating grin every time he opened the coffin to check and see if he was like batshit crazy. He was like, "Oh, I'm doing just fine." Blah blah blah. Can you give me some meat? Something like that. Can you give me some midnight hot dogs?
Midnight hot dogs. Yeah.
And so I really think that was the best part of the movie. Is that period of time where there's like a 15-minute part of the movie where they just like left him in there, and probably for weeks. We don't really know. He grew a beard at some point.
I love the beard growth. Yeah. I think that was indicative. I mean, it was really, I think it was fine up until the point that the alpha prisoner opens it up and pees on him, and then he has to sit in piss the rest of the time, and it goes for days. that's when I was like, okay, because when he first was in there, Kira, who was watching it with me and actually watched the entire thing with me, surprisingly, so it wasn't that bad.
Wait, are you telling me that she has walked out of movies we've picked?
I think she's decided not to watch them because of certain things. But she
Certain
watched this
things.
one. Yeah,
Explain certain. What does certain things mean?
she doesn't want to watch all of our movies. Like that's it.
But she watches all the movies with you. That was
Not
part of the
all of
gig.
them.
Well, I mean, every time we
Most
do
of
this
them.
podcast, you're like, "Oh, Kira watched it with me."
Yeah,
So
I
I just
guess that's true.
assumed.
She does watch a lot of the movies with me.
Okay, well,
But
you know how many
she
of the
said
movies my wife watched with me?
one.
One.
Be Kind Rewind. I remember.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
And that's why she'll never watch another one with me again.
She didn't watch Wedlock.
No.
What if we did another special guest wife episode?
Okay. I'm good with
Then
that.
then she would have to watch another one.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd have to
Or
force it on her.
yeah, or
But
she would have to
the
read
trick
about it.
is, well, yeah, she would watch it more than likely. The trick is to pick something that would just absolutely piss her off. Um, like, basically, which is not hard to do. I mean, if the story is not wrapped up with a nice little bow, generally speaking, she's not gonna like it.
But if it's
I
also
haven't quite figured out the
too
formula.
wrapped up, like it's Be Kind Rewind. How do you not get more bow like than that?
I mean, she was not a fan of how it ended. She's like,
That's
it's still gonna shut down. So what's the point of this movie? I'm like, yeah, but it drew the community together, and that's more important, wife. Jeez, read the room, okay?
yeah. Rewind to the room.
Yeah. No, that really was the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
floaters.
I did like the jumping out of the building to time
Yeah,
with
that was fun.
the elevator, so you don't
It
blow up.
honestly was not my best pick, and I will fully admit that.
You know, but here's the thing: it's just an HBO made for TV movie. So
Was it HBO?
yeah, so
Seriously?
you picked a TV show.
I picked a TV show. What are you talking about?
It won an Emmy.
Wedlock?
Yeah, for sound design.
It was a show?
I mean, it was a special film movie for TV.
Oh, movie for TV. Okay, that's fine.
It was shown on TV. It was
Oh. Shit, I didn't read that far into it. I
well,
saw Rutger Hauer and I was like, okay, I'm in. Let's do this shit.
yeah. It received an Emmy. Oh, it just received an Emmy nomination for sound editing.
I was like, how did this win anything?
You didn't
No,
really enjoy the sound editing?
no, there was no sound editing in this movie. Let me look up. So in the
Actually,
midst of
you know what was pretty cool about this movie that I did like? The
what?
soundtrack was real good and spooky.
The soundtrack, because
Yeah.
it's synthy.
Yeah, it was good synthy. I don't know.
That's true. It was pretty good. I was looking up the other movie that I found in the process of watching this movie, and I was trying to find it so I could call out the movie description to our listeners. This is really great listening right now,
It's so
but
good.
I can't give a shit. So
We're both looking at our phones trying to find information and we're just doing rock solid podcasting.
rock fucking solid.
Absolutely. What are you trying
here
to
it is.
find, Blake?
Okay, so in the process of looking at, because I have this tendency to look at IMDb on some of these movies to like just see what any connections and stuff.
Yeah.
And this was not the only movie that Rutger Hauer starred with Joan Chen in.
Oh, really?
There's another movie called The Blood of Heroes. And check this shit out.
Okay, yeah.
We
You
will
were
probably
gonna.
be watching this at some point. In a
We could
future
just do
where,
Rutger Hauer, Joan Chen for the rest of our lives.
well, I mean, it would run out pretty quick. Especially on the Joan Chen part. In a future where most of mankind and technology is wiped out, not likely. 6 people travel from place to place playing a brutal form of football with a dog skull. They hope they they hope one day to play in a league in a city. That is the summary of the movie. I mean,
That sounds like a Balderdash movie summary. One that someone made up.
that sounds like a fucking Shakespearean play. That's what that sounds like.
Which movie is this?
The
Oh my
Blood of
God.
Heroes.
The Blood of Heroes. Blake, Rutger Hauer's like 90s output is epic. I did not.
Dude.
Dude.
So, I grew up worshiping the movie Blind Fury. Have you ever watched that movie?
No.
It's got Rutger Hauer in it, and he is blind.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he kicks a lot of ass while being blind.
Does he
And
use a stick?
He does.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I found it. He plays a guy named Nick Parker. Blind Fury.
That was
Wow.
a movie that my dad adored.
Oh my God, Terry O'Quinn is in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Locke himself.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen it in years, but I have fond memories of that movie. It probably does not hold up, but I don't give a shit. Yeah, I have a special place in my heart for Rutger Hauer. Not only that, he's in one of my all-time favorite horror movies. So,
Which is.
The Hitcher.
Oh, yeah. He's also in. I don't think you ever made it this far in Channel Zero, but.
Oh, I've heard about this.
He's in like the 3rd season of Channel
Isn't he
Zero.
like called the Butcher or something?
I don't remember. I think it's called The Red Door, and it is wild.
Oh,
It stars the main character is actually the girl, the friend in It Follows.
oh, okay.
And there's actually a lot of talent in that. There's Rutger Hauer. There's that girl. Krisha is in it. Krisha, I don't remember her last name. I just remember that her name is Krisha.
Oh, from the movie. What's his
Krisha.
name's movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Real quick
recommend that
question.
one.
A nice little tangent off of that.
Mhm.
To end the podcast. Yes, Wedlock. If it happens to be on TV, sure, why not watch it? Whatever. It's probably better to go out and have a midnight hot dog, honestly. But what are your thoughts on the long coming They Follow?
Oh, I would not be interested in it if it wasn't directed by.
It is directed by.
I know.
And it has Micah Monroe in it.
I mean, part of me just feels like, okay, what's the guy's name?
David Robert Mitchell.
David Robert Mitchell. I feel like he put a lot of himself and his energy into Under the Silver Lake, and
Yeah.
then that just busted.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I think
I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was fun.
I think it could also, if played well now, it could become kind of a cult following. It might even be,
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember, or I don't know, but like, it kind of feels like this movie is like, well, I got to do something successful in my next go, so I'm gonna go back, and okay, maybe it'll be good. In fact, I think there's a good chance that it'll be good. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting.
But will it be
And
as good as or better than the first? That's the question.
I don't know. I think 28 weeks later was better than 28 days later. But that
Oh,
one,
you really
that's a
think
bad
28 weeks
example.
later was better than 28 days later?
I liked it better. But I mean, I think they're both good, but I like
Really?
28 weeks
Fascinating.
later a little bit
You're
better. Now, maybe that's a bad example because it wasn't
you're
directed
one
by
of
Danny
you're one of
Boyle.
the few people who had a negative opinion of 28 days later.
I don't think it was a
Besides
negative
me.
opinion.
No, I mean a negative opinion because I liked the movies that came after it better.
Yeah.
Most people are like, no, 28 days later is the best, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah. I haven't seen
I
the
think 28
new
years later
ones
was
yet.
better than both.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it
I've
was
heard it's
great.
really good.
Yeah.
I
I
would
saw it
like to
earlier
watch
this
it.
year.
Yeah. Did
I
you
haven't seen
watch
Bone
the
Temple.
next one? The
No, I haven't
Bone
yet.
Temple.
It seems that seems a little, I don't know. It's got really good reviews, but it seems like a another cinematic universe bullshit. I don't know. I can't dig it.
It looks like a DLC of 28
Yeah.
years later,
Yeah.
which just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, Wedlock, it was fine.
Yeah, it I wish it went harder into the sci-fi. I
Yeah.
wish. I mean, I think
It
what was
needed more
funny about
exploding heads.
it needed more exploding heads. They probably didn't have the budget for that. They were like,
That's true.
2 exploding heads.
That's
That's it.
enough.
But I will say the one thing that I appreciated. I'm going to list 2 things I appreciated. 2 things I appreciated. One was Rutger Hauer is definitely in his dad bod phase,
Oh, yeah.
and he's still rocking it. Thing I appreciated number 2 was the movie sci-fi. It's somewhere in the recent future. Makes 3 notable predictions outside of
Mm-hmm.
the technology of the Wedlock.
Yeah.
You see constant headlines about the dollar going down and
Mm-hmm.
gold rising, which, if
Yeah.
you're paying attention to the economy right now, that's what's
Mm-hmm.
happening. And then the other prediction that it makes, is you get to go and visit Rutger Hauer's friend, who's going to help them undo their things, and he takes them to his craft brewery that he's starting.
Yeah.
Which I was like, God damn, got that prediction
Nailed it.
right. Nailed that
it.
one. Yeah. So
Yeah. The final showdown is basically at a craft brewery. It's hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, so yeah, if you happen to find it randomly playing on HBO in the middle of the night, like go get yourself a hot dog off the street, any kind if you're choosing, and watch Wedlock. Why not? It's Rutger Hauer. He can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
He's great. Haven't been disappointed by him so far. So
2 good to decent Rutger Hauer movies.
Yep. There you go. There you go. Well,
There you go.
on that note, adios.
Bye.